Hello. I tried to use a feature that I hadn't used before, and for some reason it was not working. I tried to use the blur feature for my background, and it just gave me a nice black square. So it did not show me at all. So hopefully the audio is working and the visual is working. But welcome, welcome, welcome to another edition of Tarot by Hilary Live. And I will do all of the introductions in a second, but let me go ahead and introduce myself in the way that I have been introducing myself for a while now. And running the intro video. So I will be right back in about 20 seconds. All right, I am back and hopefully everything is working, and you're seeing me halfway in, halfway out because I'm checking things on my phone, and I nearly spilled iced tea all over my computer, which would not have been good. So 3 cheers for me actually not spilling iced tea everywhere. Go ahead and clean myself off a little bit there. That would have been so bad. Okay. All right. Looks like the tube of you is working. If I can have my peeps comment from the Book of Face and let me know if that's working over there too. We can get started with the episode, but I think everything is working correctly. We are not in a Mercury retrograde right now. We're in Venus retrograde, which is a very, very different thing. And while I'm waiting for the confirmation that everything's working correctly, I'll give my spiel, my introduction. Hello, I'm Hilary, professional tarot reader, demystifying the mystical and putting you in touch with the most beautiful of gifts, your own intuition. Because yes, my friends, do not argue with me. You have intuition. That is one of my firmly long-held beliefs about intuition, that everyone has it, and it is a muscle just like anything else. You can train it to become stronger, and you can train it to work for you, because that's the reason why intuition exists in the first place. It's there to help us. And I will check the Book of Face myself just to double make sure that this is broadcasting correctly. So if you are looking at the description of tonight's episode, hopefully it did come up. I'm not seeing anything here, but let me check the Book of Face just to be sure. Nope, it's working. Yes. So the description for tonight's episode is just the live stream. There's no particular topic in mind, and that I'm giving you the brief astro-weather at the top of the episode, as usual, from Teresa Reed's wonderful Astro Biz Digest, and the weekend forecast at the end of the episode. Perhaps we will do the mid-episode reading, but that's not a guarantee because it is so freaking hot here. And actually, like, if you're a regular to the program, you'd know that live stream day is the same day as therapy day. And actually, In my therapist's office, we had a little bit of a brownout. So at one point, like all of the power went off in his office, including the air conditioner, and then it popped back on a few minutes later. So yeah, it's warm. It's warm. I think the last time I looked at the temperature, it's around 91. And, there is a widget for that too. So let's put the thermometer here and put like 91 degrees Fahrenheit, because we use Fahrenheit in this part of the world. That's not my temperature, but it is the temperature outside. So it is very warm. And so I'm going to try and keep this episode as brief as possible, while also giving you some of the astrology that's going on right now and the weekend forecast. And also that was an idea from Mr. Tarot by Hilary. He was just like, you don't have to completely cancel the episode. You can do a brief episode and give them their astrology and give them their weekend forecast. And isn't that lovely to hear that Mr. Tarot by Hilary is so keyed in to the live streams, even though he doesn't watch them himself, and even though he's usually in the other room? It's just so nice. It's nice to be able to have a partner that doesn't necessarily understand what I do, but respects what I do. To be like, give them their astrology, give them the weekend forecast. They need that stuff. And I'm just like, and they've come to expect that from you. So give that to them at the very least. Don't completely cancel the episode. So I'm just like, you know what? You're right. You're right, honey. So kudos to Mr. Tarot by Hilary. So on that note, let's get into the astro-weather from Teresa Reed from her wonderful Astro Biz Digest. Let me go ahead and pull up that information for you so you can check that out. So from the Astro Biz Digest, this is something that I use all the time. It is geared towards entrepreneurs and business owners, but I found it to be incredibly helpful in planning my personal life as well. $99 for a year-long subscription with astrology right to your email inbox. It's pretty great. I'll go ahead and display the link for you here on screen. So you can go ahead and follow along that link after the episode if you are so inclined and like what you're hearing about like the overall transits that are going on. And then also the specifics for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, because that's all that I give you normally. I will give you just enough to wet your whistle. And if you're interested and you like the way that Teresa Reed approaches astrology, especially in layman's terms, like she gives you the astrology, but she'll give you the terms, the terminology, but she will also explain in layman's terms exactly what that means and how that could be affecting you, depending on where your placements are in your natal chart. So if you like what you're hearing, I would encourage you to pick up a copy for yourself. All right, let's see. That's not what I wanted. I didn't want picture in picture. I'm trying to make me be, let's see. Is it here? No. Here? No. Yeah, split screen, good enough. Split screen is good enough for me. So if people are interested in that, if people are ready for it, go ahead and give a hell yeah in the chat. And we will get started with the general transits that are going on for this particular week. Yeah, it's like 91 degrees outside. So it's hot. It's hot. Oh, no. Well, that's good to know. So that's Veronica, who usually tunes in on I think Veronica usually tunes in on the Book of Face. I'm glad you're streaming in several places. I could not get the Facebook chat to work on my tablet. Well, I'm glad that I stream in 2 places too. That's the reason why I do it. Not everyone is on the Book of Face. Not everyone is on the Tube of You. And actually, hi Fran. Actually, what I was trying to figure out was how to stream to different platforms. And I was going to try and stream from the gram of Insta, but I don't think that Be Live, which is my third-party streaming app, has access to be able to do that quite yet. So I'll take a look into it and see what my plan has or what I can do and how many platforms I can stream to, and see what's possible, because who knows, there might be an entire untapped platform of people that are just waiting to hear what I have to say, and I have no way of knowing it until I try it. So there you have it. All right, so Astrobiz Digest, Astrobiz Digest, Astrobiz Digest. All right, weekly forecast for July 24th through the 30th. I can't believe it's almost August, folks. Like, this is crazy. And also, if you're keeping score, it's exactly a year ago, I think. It's either a year ago yesterday or today that we were flying out for our big trip, flying out to Amsterdam and then traveling to Iceland and Ireland. So I can't believe that's been a year already. That's kind of nuts. Also, Sophia is here. Sophia, it's so nice to see you. Hooray. We're just in time for the Astro-Biz Digest, the astro-weather. Okay. Mercury will do us all a favor this week by settling into Virgo for an extended stay. Mercury rules Virgo, so it operates well in this sign. Between now and October 5th, you can tap into this analytical, smarty-pants energy for research, deep thinking, editing, and anything that requires attention to detail. And Teresa is gearing up for the launch of book number 9. And by the way, speaking of that, yeah, I know, Sophia, how was that a year ago? Because it's a year ago. Like, I can't believe that either. Yeah, it definitely flew by. That's true. And actually, as we speak, my sister is actually going on a trip with her husband. So she is currently sipping cocktails right now at the airport, about to fly out for I think only about a week. It's a short trip, but it's one that she's taking without the huge crew of people that we traveled with last year. So that's nice. That's nice for her and her husband to go do that. But yeah. So Teresa, speaking of book number 9 for Teresa, and that's what she's working on, I got an advanced copy of that book number 9, I believe. that's the one, because I need to do what's it called? An endorsement blurb, front cover blurb, advanced praise for blank. Yeah. So I've got to sit down and I've got to write that. But I tore through my copy of book number 9 that's not out yet. And man, you guys are going to need it. You're going to need it if you like the Astro-Biz Digest. If you're a fan of Teresa's work, you're going to want to pick up her newest book that's coming out. And it's called, I believe it's called The Cards You're Dealt. And it is about tricky readings, basically, difficult readings. So, yeah. Fran says, because my friend's 13-year-old was 5 yesterday. Exactly. Time flies. And Sophia says, ooh, synopsis, please. That's the synopsis, basically. It's called The Cards You're Dealt, and it is about difficult readings and how to give difficult readings. So I can do more of a blurb after the Astro-Biz Digest if you want to know more. So yeah. Mercury in Virgo for an extended stay until October 5th. Teresa's gearing up, requiring attention to details, and Teresa is using that to gear up for the launch of book number 9, which I just mentioned. This transit favors precise communication, cut to the chase, and get right down to the facts. It's better that way. Watch out for procrastination due to perfectionism. Oh my God, I was just talking about that in therapy today. I'm not even joking with you. Holy crap. This is something that Mr. Tarot by Hilary didn't know about me until today. And we've been married for 8 years next month, and we've been together for 16 years altogether, 16 or 17 years altogether. So yeah, pretty big revelation. So that's not entirely unsurprising about watching out for procrastination due to perfectionism. Like, wow, you can't make this shit up. He's playing a game in the other room right now, but I'm going to have to mention that to him when I'm done broadcasting. Anyway, you'll miss the bigger picture if you get too hung up on the small stuff. Noted, Teresa. Thank you for the heads up on that. Are we ready for the specifics of Friday, Saturday, and Sunday now that we know about the big transit, which is Mercury in Virgo from basically now this week until October 5th? Plenty of time to figure that kind of shit out. That's been, something that I've been stuffing for a lifetime. All right, we got a woo in the chat, which I can only assume means yes. Let's go on with the specifics. All right, so Friday, July 28th, 2023. Although Friday begins with a favorable aspect, 2 others spoil the mood. The positive angle occurs at 5:22 a.m. Eastern Standard Time when the moon trines the sun. It's marvelous for travel, PR, and publishing creative work. It's followed by a Moon-Saturn square at 6:52 a.m., which slows progress and makes the public unfocused. Meh. Arguments could break out when the moon squares Mars at 4:09 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is not a smart time for negotiations or online debates. Mercury will be in Virgo at 5:31 p.m. Okay, so we just talked about that. No wonder. Wow. So this is an example of practical astrology and how it really can hit. Like literally, I was sitting in the therapist chair at 5:31 p.m. Mercury will be in Virgo at 5:31 p.m., elevating analytical thinking and also, procrastination as a result of perfectionism, apparently. So this could help sort out any of today's nonsense. We've already read the synopsis of what Mercury in Virgo means. Anyway, Friday today is a power day for Sagittarius and a weak day for Gemini. So if you have Sagittarius figuring prominently in your natal chart, it's a power day for you. If you've got Gemini figuring prominently in your natal chart, it's probably a weaker day for you. All right. That's a woo. And we haven't even gotten to Saturday and Sunday yet. Hello, Katie. You're just in time for Saturday and Sunday of the AstroBiz Digest, the astro-weather. All right. Saturday offers an opportunity to inspire the public when the moon trines Chiron at 6:58 a.m. Get your megaphone out and speak from the heart. People are listening. The evening puts people in a flaky mood when the moon squares Neptune. If you're trying to make a point, then good luck. Ambition is on full blast once La Luna steps into Capricorn at 11:44 p.m. But wait until Sunday to work that vibe. Sunday's hot spots for marketing and bold CEO moves happen at 9:15 a.m. when the moon sextiles Saturn, and at 8:18 p.m. when the moon trines Mars, followed by another trine to Jupiter. So put these on your calendar, automate your marketing, and enjoy a chill Sunday if you can. Despite the workaholic nature of the Capricorn moon, you don't have to work harder, just smarter. Saturday is a power day for Sagittarius and a weekday for Gemini, just like Friday. And Sunday is a power day for Capricorn and a weekday for Cancer. Whew, that's a lot going on this weekend. That's a lot going on this weekend. So before I close out the AstroBiz Digest for this particular week and this particular episode, is there any particular days that people want me to look at to give you a brief synopsis of like, oh, Monday was a little bit weird, or Tuesday I had people being very aggressive with me, or Thursday I felt a little bit emo? Let me know in the chat, and I will take a quick look at the AstroBiz Digest for you and give you a sense of what might be going on in the stars to affect that. So already we have Sophia saying yesterday was wacky. Yeah, yesterday, Wednesday. Was it Wednesday? Wednesday was really wacky for me, but you're asking about Thursday. So Thursday, yeah, it said the cosmos are active today. Brace yourself for a wild ride. Moon opposing Uranus 7:10 a.m. Public is unpredictable. Mercury conjuncts Venus at 11:16 a.m. That's more about PR and pitch the media and be seen. Let's see. Moon Neptune trine 3:56 p.m. heightens imagination. Evening gets funky due to a few problematic aspects that kick in around 5:06 p.m. Stay focused on your creative work rather than engaging with the public. I don't know the astrological reason why Teresa doesn't get into it, but she does say wait until the moon enters Sagittarius at 8:24 p.m. to get your message out there. So between 5:06 p.m. and 8:24 p.m., apparently it was a little bit funky on Thursday. Does it match up with what was happening for you, Sophia? If so, let me know in the chat. I'm going to look at Wednesday because Wednesday was really weird too. Interesting. Moon opposes Jupiter on Wednesday. You'll regret it later if you say yes when you mean no. Carefully inspect every opportunity so you can determine if it's worth your time. Travel or publishing drama too. Breathe through it, it's temporary. Interesting. Yeah, things were a little bit wacky energetically on like Wednesday night. So, and by the way, speaking of wackiness, there's someone in the chat soliciting readings. So please feel free to ignore them because that's really not copacetic. Coming on another reader's channel and trying to poach people, or saying I'm drawn to you for a reading. Like if you were a true reader, you would probably be too busy to be pulling that kind of crap. That's my opinion anyway. But outright spamming people with the exact same copy and pasted message, like my audience is intelligent and can see right through that. So please don't. Like, don't start nothing, won't be nothing. All right. Anybody else wanting to know what was going on with the specifics of the astrology before we move on to possibly the mid-episode reading, possibly the weekend forecast, depending? Because I do want to keep it to a tight episode. Yes. Teresa says tacky. Yes, you're correct. And Sophia says, I had a ton of family drama. Yep. And that was on Thursday? Yeah. Sounds about right. For unspecific astrological reasons, which I don't think Teresa got into, but you may want to take a look at her Triple T forecast for that day, if she left it up on her gram of Insta. And yes, Sophia, I do believe you still have mod power. So Sophia is wearing her moderator hat. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hold on, let me see if I can. All right. All right. I got him. I got him too. Hopefully that works. It's okay. I found him. I found the button. Yeah, you guys better watch out. Be on your best behavior. Otherwise, Sophia will get you. She is back in her moderator role. Yeah, we might not do a mid-episode reading unless people are really jonesing for it and unless people can behave themselves. But yeah, the mid-episode reading is something that I've been offering as kind of a way to get around the whole pull a card for me, pull a card for me. Can you pull a card for me? Can I pull a card? No, I can't pull a card for you. And any time that I've done a live stream, geared specifically towards doing readings for people, no one ever shows up. But then when I'm in the middle of like doing a live stream that's specifically focused on me teaching like an aspect of tarot or an aspect of another form of divination or like a deep dive on a certain tarot card or whatever, that's when I start to get like, give me, oh, pull a card, or, some people just drop their questions for the tarot into the chat without a hello and please and thank you. And that really takes away from what I'm trying to be focused on, which is doing a teaching and edutaining live stream. So, the mid-episode reading was created in order to kind of combat that and also have a little bit more of interaction and a little bit of a gift for those people that are watching the live stream live instead of watching the replay. So, Veronica is savage. Love that. So Katie says, nice work, both of you. And Veronica says, I don't mind if my dead grandmother wants to send me a message through a rando on Facebook, but I must insist it be in Norwegian since she never learned English. Savage. Oh, I love it. And that's a kind of interesting aspect of mediumship too, that sometimes you get the gist of the message, but we might not be able to deliver it in the exact language of that person. But the message is more symbolic in nature than, verbatim words. But, language is usually not a barrier in the form of like mediumship, or at least it hasn't been to my understanding of it. Then again, like maybe I had that happen only like one time, where it's just like, oh, well, that was not her first language. And she would say that to me, or this person would say that to me, or that sentiment, but they would say it in their native language. And I'm just like, that's really cool. Katie says, I can't get how people just drop a question in, but then I've never gone to one of those readers shows. Yeah, and I mean, like the reader shows, and I do think there is something to it. Like there's this one reader on Twitch, yeah. And I've always, I kind of want to try to do that, to do like a reading show like that, where it's just like you've got the camera on me, but then you have another camera on like this beautiful the surface of the reading, so you can see the cards coming down, so you kind of have like the view of me interacting and then the cards. I think that's very, very cool. And there is one person in particular I follow on Twitch. I can't remember their name, but I like the cut of the jib and how they're reading and what they're reading. It's just like it feels genuine, It's just like we can spot who the people that are legit and the people who are not legit. We can spot that. We're pretty good at spotting it. Mostly because we're also training ourselves and then training our clients or prospective clients how to spot someone that's for real, the real deal. But, I've tried to do that and be that kind of reader, especially for these live streams. And that's just not how I roll. Yeah, I'll pull a card or two if I'm feeling frisky, but like, I just don't want the episodes to be all about that, because oftentimes we kind of go off onto a tangent and then it becomes either all that and no opportunity to really address um, more of the educational aspects of the tarot, um, or it becomes crickets and people don't show up to those reading shows. And then what am I supposed to do? So this is part of the reason why I always have kind of a backup episode, like not quite as much now, because I feel pretty confident that we have our regular viewership here, where I know that it's like Sophia's going to show up, Katie's going to show up, Fran's going to show up, Dina's going to show up, Teresa's going to show up, Veronica's going to show up. I mean, there's and if I missed you, I'm sorry. Please let me know if I missed your name in the chat. But I have come to expect that there are going to be certain people that are going to be showing up for these shows, because I do them at the same time, basically every week. Every Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, now more geared towards 6:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because, we moved and traffic and stuff. But still, you've come to expect a live show every Friday, every Friday evening in my perspective time zone, So you've already made the adjustments for your time zone. You've come to expect that you're showing up for this show at this time. And so now I don't mind quite as much not preparing something, because I know that someone's going to be here and I know that there's going to be an interaction. And that's what I love about doing the live stream. It's very weird at first, because you do feel like you're alone and that you're just talking into the ether and there's no one talking back and no one's going to ever see this. But that's just simply not true, because either we have the live interaction where I'm answering questions that are coming up in the chat, or I know that people are going to be catching the replays and seeing these messages that I give, or this educational aspect or information that I give at another time. So I know it's all going somewhere. It's all for a purpose. So I don't feel like I necessarily have to prepare something just in case nobody shows up. But that's just my 2 cents. It's usually good to have something in the back of their mind that you want to talk about, or something that pisses you off, or something that you're passionate about, though, because then you can talk about that for literal hours. Like the other day, this is something that I talked about in an IG Live last week, because last Thursday, actually. Last Thursday morning, I was preparing for a library talk that I was going to give that evening, and I was really freaking out about it. And I guess that's just a part of my process. I realized it's just like I freak out about it first, because I want to do a good job and I want to be able to give as much information as possible. And I also want to be a good ambassador for tarot and tarot reading and what it is and how tarot reading can help a situation. That's not just about future tripping and fortune telling. Even though it can do that, but it's about so much more than that too. And when I'm walking into a situation like that, I am an ambassador for the tarot. And so I think the nerves and the anxiousness and wanting to do a good job, it comes from a good place. It comes from a place of good intentions, that I just want to do a good job and I want people to have the right idea about this divination system that I love so much that works. But at the same time, I went on to IG Live because I wanted to talk to people and I wanted to ask them, like, what, if you were attending my library talk, what would you want to know? Because I had never given a talk at a library before about tarot. So I just didn't know what the audience was going to want. And I also had to prepare something. I couldn't just go on the fly and stand there and be like, all right, what do you want to know about tarot? But in the end, that's kind of what I ended up doing anyway. Like, I had my notes. I did have my notes, and I brought a bunch of decks, and I passed them around, and the library director who had contacted me to do the library talk that I've been friends with for like 20 years, which is a very funny story. I'm friends with her because we both dated the same guy. Not at the same time, but we were both exes of this person, and we remained friends with him, and then we ended up becoming friends because of that. So that's how we know each other. It's kind of funny. But we were passing out tarot decks, and I was answering questions, so I definitely had, you know, my materials there so that I could go through. But like in the end, I'm just like, all right, we covered that, we talked about that, that person right over there asked me about that, you know. And so it ended up being a really, really great night. And this is what I realized during the IG Live and what I realized during the library talk. Once I get going, I always get nervous that I don't have enough to say. But with tarot, I'm always going to find something to say. I'm very opinionated about tarot, and I'm very passionate about tarot. And when you're passionate about something, you will never run out of things to talk about. So yeah, Katie says, which made me think of a question. Did you do any form of energy cleansing to your new apartment before you moved in? That's an excellent question. And yes and no. So I haven't done the real like clapping in the corners, you know, saging, doing some of the physical stuff. I have done a little bit of the energetic, unseen, you know, more, I guess, high magic, ceremonial magic, not ceremonial magic, but more high magic, where it's like more form of mental magic, less with like the physical accoutrements, basically. I did light a candle, but it was more for odor elimination purposes in the bathroom rather than TMI, rather than anything energetic. But I do have my altar space set up on my my cabinet, which is where I'm going to be storing my tarot decks. I also have my Kuan Yin statue on top of that, which wasn't the usual place for it. She usually resided in the kitchen on the windowsill, but now that we've moved to a different place, she is on top of my little, I guess it's not a writing desk per se, but it's more like a little hutch, which is also my altar piece, basically. So Kuan Yin sitting up there with Bridget, with a little Bridget dolly that I have. And then also Jamie, one of my co-hosts for Card Singers Coast to Coast, sent me a Bridget, like, not necessarily a prayer card. It's more of a magic card than a prayer card, but it has an invocation to Bridget, I believe, on the back of it. And so I've put that onto there too. So not anything like, so this is the reason why I'm saying yes and no. Like, not anything specific, and I can definitely do more, and I will do more. But the energy in here is pretty good already, that I want to be careful when I'm energetically cleansing to not cleanse away some of the energy that already exists here and is good. But also putting our own personal stamp on the apartment. But it does feel like home already. I'm very, very comfortable within the apartment. And it does feel like home already. And Mr. Tarot by Hilary also feels the same way. He was just like, yeah, I like it. So the other day, like, we've been getting different things. Like, I don't know if you've seen on the gram of Insta, my little galaxy projector that it projects stars and like different colored clouds and a moon onto the ceiling. And it was cheap. We got it at the same time. We got a nightlight that's like an automatic one. Like as the light goes down, it automatically kicks in. So we have a nightlight in our hallway in case we have to get up in the middle of the night. And then we also have that galaxy projector, which I've been putting on in the evenings after when it gets dark and it's actually night and we have the lights turned off in the living room. We just put on the galaxy projector, and it's like very soothing. So very long answer to your question, Katie, but yes and no. There's more to be done, but right now we've got a good baseline, basically. And speaking of card slingers and Jamie, new episode just dropped for Card Slingers Coast to Coast on the Tower. So that is our deep dive. And I gave a preview on the Gram of Insta and on the Talk of Tick on part of what we were recording today. We did, so we used to record on Wednesdays, but now that I have a retail job, we're recording on Fridays because Fridays are the only day that I said I absolutely need off because of the live stream and therapy and now recording podcasts. So we recorded 2 episodes today because we were feeling frisky. So, oh my, 'twas a good one. Been growing to love the Tower. I don't know if that episode alone will necessarily want you to grow to love the Tower, but definitely more accepting of the Tower, I guess. We tried. Katie says, Galaxy projector sounds lovely. I can show you guys. Let me show you. Let me see if I can do it. So it's shaped like this, and so it's got different surfaces, so you can put it however you want to. You can put it head on like this, or you can aim it up. So what I've been doing is putting it onto my altar and then aiming it up so that it kind of hits the ceiling and part of the wall. So, and it is rechargeable. So there's a little charge cord here, and so you can charge it and then use it. So different settings, different brightness. So let me go ahead and power it on. And just aim it over here. You get the general idea. And then it moves. So I'm moving it right now, but then if you hold it steady, the clouds kind of move. And then there's different modes too. Like, you do red, green, changing colors, blue, just plain with stars and a moon. I think I put it back to the original setting that I had it on. And then you can turn the moon on and off too. So super cool. And, you know, depending on where you place it, you can make it larger or smaller. So you get the idea. It's still light out though, so it's kind of harder to see it, but yeah. So Katie says, if the energy is already good, then you definitely don't want to spoil it. Just shape it. Exactly. Exactly. So let me turn the light back on. And actually, someone was talking to me about that. One of my retail colleagues, she was saying, oh, I need sage. I need sage because I'm moving and I need sage. And I'm just like, do not buy sage. My mom just keeps on giving me sage over and over and over again, like smudge sticks, sage sticks. And, you know, she's just gotten it into her head that it's just like, oh, sage sticks, I'll buy them for Hilary. And it's just like, please don't Like, I have no nice way of saying, like, please, no more sage sticks. So I am giving them as needed to people that need them. So I said, like, please don't buy it. It's just like, literally, I have some in my car right now. I can give them to you, like, just wait. Like, once I'm done with my shift, I will go down to my car and I will get them for you. Like, please wait. Please don't buy them. I have them. But she was also saying, I really like the energy of this apartment and there's a ghost, but I like the ghost. You know, it's a nice ghost and, you know, I would like it to stay. And I'm just like, well, that's what you say. You know, it's just, she's like, how do I cleanse the space and make it my own, but like not take away the ghost that's already there that I like. And I'm just like, you can just say exactly that. Like, hey, you know, I'm saging, but it's not to get rid of you. It's to make this place my own, and you are welcome to stay for as long as you want to stay for. That's it. Like, have a conversation with the ghost. If you want the ghost to say, if it's a good ghost, if it's a friendly ghost, by all means, have that conversation. So, France says, is this my college dorm room? Yeah, I was definitely getting those vibes. I'm not going to lie. Yeah. Pretty nightscape. Yes, I like it a lot. So Katie says, tower card. I like the tower card, but then I like my messes swept away in a tsunami. I was actually thinking I should not be liking it so much now that my life is settling into a nicer situation. LOL. Yeah, and basically that's it. And it's just like, not to spoil the episode if you haven't listened to the episode already, but that's kind of what the tower card is. And it's not too dissimilar to what people experience when they dedicate themselves to a deity, especially a deity that has the that's one of their ways of clearing the way, is just like burning it all down, or, you know, sweep it like a tsunami. You know, it's just like, what comes down in a tower moment is not necessary in the first place, and it's not working in the first place. And it comes down to its foundations. Like, it all comes down to the foundations. And so that's kind of what happens in the tower. You know, it's just like, that's anything that is not authentic and that is not right for you comes tumbling down. And it may be a thing that you're very, very attached to, but ultimately somewhere in there, it's not working. And the tower brings it down. So, Katie, you probably won't have many of those tower moments because your life is settling into a nicer situation, you know? But I would also examine it too and be like, wait a minute, is everything actually good? Does it feel authentic? Does it feel, you know, because if it doesn't feel authentic, watch out. And there are people that get the tarot card tattooed on them because they're used to riding that tower card energy. So I'm not one of those people. I am much more comfortable with the High Priestess card on my arm, but that too brings with it its own specific energy about, like, better trust yourself. You better trust yourself. You better trust your instincts. Hey, bitch. Hey, remember when you got that vibe that person was not right? Hey, you want to listen to that? Hey. Yeah, exactly. I will definitely check in. But yes, tower will come for me if it isn't. Exactly. I don't want to shake things up, but maybe we shouldn't have a mid-episode reading. Because you know what? Tower card is probably going to come up. Be like, bitch. We can talk a little bit about that, but that might be for another episode. But actually, Courtney Weber on the Talk of Tick responded to one of my comments with another with a video response. which was basically something that I've witnessed, something that I've noticed as I've been reading cards for many, many years now. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I did do the math that I've been reading tarot for 26 years altogether, and 18 years out of that I've been reading professionally. So I've been at this for a long time. That also made me feel a lot better when I was doing my library talk. And I did lead with that. It's just like, I do know what I'm talking about. I have to remember that, but it's just like, I've been reading tarot for 26 years, 18 of them professionally. So I want to talk to you about tarot. And I also wrote a book on the subject, and here it is. And, if you want to read it, ask your local library to get a copy. And then I gave the reading list, the recommended reading, to the library director so that she can add those books to the library, which is very cool. But what I was saying was what I noticed about when you ask a question and you keep on asking a question of the tarot, and tarot answers your question in a satisfactory manner, in their opinion, in the tarot card's opinion, and you keep on asking the same question, hoping for a different answer, the tarot will get mean, and you'll start pulling the Tower card, the Devil card, the Death card, the Three of Swords, the Ten of Swords. And I have come to learn that to not interpret those cards at face value, but that is a sign from the tarot, bitch, stop asking. And whatever comment it was that I don't think I said exactly that in the in a response, but I was just like, I kind of did say that though. It's just like, well, clearly it's just like your client was asking the same question over and over again, and and it's saying stop asking, and so. There has been a number of people, probably people that are watching right now on the live stream or on the replay, that want like an entire book on the subject of those bitch stop asking readings. And there's too many to name, and I probably won't remember details about it, but I know you all like when the tarot comes for me, and that definitely has happened to me. So Katie says, fingers in the ears, not listening. Fran says, my words have been coming back to bite me in the you-know-what. Messages will be repeated until the lesson is learned and received. Yes, that's correct. Yes. And oh yes, Fran, that's the killer. And Fran says, I feel called out. Yes. So, and that's part of the reason, like sometimes I will put the tarot cards down for a little while, and I'll pull, like, if you follow the daily card draws, the card of the day, or if this message is for you, or if this coming up in your feed, then this message may be for you, videos, lately, if you see this, if you see an oracle card instead of a tarot card, it may be that your tarot reader, your neighborhood-friendly tarot reader, is also sick of the tarot coming for them and just needs a little bit of a kinder, gentler experience. Of course, then again, sometimes the oracle card will still come for me, and especially if I need to learn that particular lesson. Like sometimes we have gotten real like humdingers of oracle cards on this particular live stream, and it's just like sometimes oracle cards can be known for being a little bit kinder, gentler than tarot cards, and sometimes in the hands of a certain tarot card reader, there's no kindness, there's no gentleness, because I don't learn the lessons through kindness and gentleness. I learn them by getting smacked across the face with the message. Maybe you can relate. And I do say this all the time with my clients. I do say this all of the time with my tarot students. Like, Listen to the messages of your intuition. Listen to the whispers of your intuition before they become screams. Because if you don't listen to the whispers, they will get louder and louder and louder until it becomes a God-smacking of a situation. Because your intuition is there to help you. But if you're not listening to it, it will get louder and louder and louder until you listen. Or sometimes the opposite happens and it will just completely shut off because you haven't been listening to it. So it's just like, all right, why bother? This bitch is not going to listen to me. And in those cases, there are some people that have said to me, I don't have intuition. And I'm just like, all right, let's talk about the lead up to when you feel your intuition was gone or disappeared. And if they say I've never had intuition, then I usually investigate it. It's just like, do you normally leave a place before something bad happens? Do you normally get a sense of first impressions of people turn out to be right? Do you normally, and I try and reframe their understanding of intuition because it's all the same. It's just different forms of intuition. Some people are really good at reading people. Some people are really good at reading the energy of a space or place. Some people are really good at seeing dead people or hearing dead people. You know, we all have our different talents, but the one commonality is that we all do have intuition. I don't start and end the live stream lightly when I say that. I really do mean it when I say everyone has intuition. But for the people that have experienced my intuition has left me, it hasn't left you, honey. And you can get back to it. You can get back to it. It's a muscle. You can get back to it. And there are definitely times where that muscle can be atrophied from no use or little use or no use at all. But you can get back to it. I've had my oracle cards do the same when I'm avoiding my tarot cards. Yes, that message will come through however it can, whenever it can. And it will make the sweetest of oracle decks real mean. So on that happy note, do we want to do the weekend forecast? Let's do the weekend forecast. Let's see if we can cram this into under an hour. Let's see. Do we want to do an affirmation? Because in the move, I've been like losing and gaining and losing and gaining. So I found my super attractor oracle set, which is more affirmations. It's an affirmation deck. But dang, like it got me the other day too. If you happen to see the one that I pulled the other day, man, it got me. And then I didn't notice the background. Yeah. So this was the card that I pulled the other day. This is not the weekend forecast, by the way. This is the card that I pulled the other day as the card's energy of the day. When I live and act from a place of spiritual alignment, I can trust that everything is working out for me, even if I don't know when or how it will happen. And it's very pink. It's a very pink card. And when I recorded it kind of like as a boomerang, but I like had the audio going and it was picking up these different sounds because I was sitting near a fountain. So I wanted it to pick up the water sounds because it was very soothing. But I didn't realize, and I didn't hear it when I was sitting there recording, but I heard it as the recording was playing back. There was like a whistling. There was like a little haunting whistling melody happening in the background. And it was very, very short. And I don't think it happened when I had the card out, but I think it happened when I had the cover of the super attractor out. So I don't know, something about that whistling was also a part of the message. I don't think that was necessarily for me though. I think it was for someone who watched the video. I don't know who it was. They haven't reached out to me about it. But if it happened to be you, that whistling, like that was for you. I don't know what it means, but if you knew what it means, that's for you. Katie's saying, you're right. Yeah, thanks. And yes, Barbie pink. And what was the weekend forecast last week? The weekend forecast last week was very pink too, but that was from the star seed, I think. And so part of it was the interpretation from the companion book, and part of it was go see Barbie. Right? Something like that. Anyway. Oh, let me do the crawler for the weekend forecast. Oh, and also a reminder that we do this every Friday night, 6:30 to 6:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is the start time. And please like, follow. Where's the widget? Where's the widget? Follow us. Follow me. Follow me. Subscribe. Click the notifications bell to be informed of the next time I go live or the next time I upload something. Because I can't do this without you. And yes, we have our regular viewers and they're awesome. Fran, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to Katie. I'm talking to Sophia. I'm talking to Veronica. I'm talking to Dina. I'm talking to all of you. You know who you are. If you're a regular viewer, you know who you are, and I appreciate you so much. But there are more people that need to see this live stream, and I know that, and I feel that in my heart. And so please, if you are a regular viewer, share an episode that you got a lot out of to a friend that you know will help that friend. Make sure that they're subscribed to the YouTube channel or the Tube of You channel or the Book of Face channel. If you want to donate, do the virtual tip jar. It's paypal.me, paypal.me/tarot by Hilary NY, which I think I have in here somewhere. Hold on. Where is that? Oh, I've got my multitasking. Yes. Where is it? Here. There's my PayPal QR code. Like all of that, but most importantly, sharing those messages, sharing it with a friend, very, very helpful. And that's just what I want. That's what I want, to be of service and to, find more clients as well. Like book a reading with me, tarotbyhilary.com. If you haven't had a reading with me or a tapping session with me, you kind of know how that's going to go just from how I interact with people on this live stream. So, Fran says it was very on point for the whole evening and the tapping. Yes. And Katie is agreeing with you. And for those of you who did tune in last week and did do the tapping on accepting love or being more accepting of love and support in your life, there was one person that said, I feel like it's lying. Like, I feel like I'm lying to myself. That's only because we didn't spend as much time on the where you are versus the where you want to be. And I think I addressed this last week with this person. But I wanted to make sure that you knew that. Like in a private one-on-one tapping, we can go much, much deeper. And in a group tapping, we can go much deeper as well. But for one of these that, it's a group tapping and it's more generalized in nature, there are going to be some phrases that will not hit you. And there are going to be some phrases that you're just like, how the fuck did she know that? Like intuition plays a big part in tapping and being a tapping practitioner and knowing what to say to the client. But some of the stuff that we say to a client as we're crafting a tapping session for that person is based on the investigation that we do beforehand and the intake that we do with that person. And sometimes the most powerful thing that we can say in a tapping session is echoing back what that client said to us and those clients' responses to our questions in the intake portion and the investigation portion prior to the tapping. Because some people have said, wow, you're so intuitive. Like you said exactly what I was thinking. And I'm just like, well, honey, you said that in your intake. You said that in the investigation. And they don't even remember saying it. So it's just like, so give yourself credit there. You said that in the investigation. But that is the way to make tapping more specific and more powerful. Be specific. And also get into how you're feeling in that moment, especially if this is a hard topic for you. Like some examples, sleight of hand, even though I shy away from the concept of love, even though I am terrified that I'm going to fall in love, even though I feel like everyone I've loved will eventually leave me because they do, or because that's my experience in the past, even though it's just like, get to the worst case scenario even, because you're not going there to traumatize yourself or re-traumatize yourself. You're going in there to scoop this stuff out, to see to the other side of what's possible for you. Because you don't stop there. You don't stop at like, oh my God, everyone leaves me. Everyone's going to leave me. Everyone's going to leave me. And love is lost. And that is what I've learned. Love is lost. Love is lost. Love is lost. But I'm open to the possibility of feeling differently about love. I'm open to the possibility that I can write a new story about my love life in all of its different forms, in friendship, in romance. I can write a different story. And maybe in the past, I wasn't in control of who I loved. And that's not to say that I can control who I love now, but I can control my actions, and I can control my boundaries, and I can control what is and is not acceptable behavior from a loved one. Like all of these things, those are examples, by the way. That's off the cuff. So, and if you're wondering, oh my God, how the hell did she pull that out? It's just like, that's part of my training. That's the reason why I got certified in tapping, and it's just like, but you can do it too. That's just the things that I was thinking about on the side of the hand point as I was tapping about the concept of love. That's pulled from personal experience too. So it's a little bit raw. That's a little bit vulnerable. But that's what happens in a good tapping session. You're going to get raw, you're going to get vulnerable, you're going to get authentic, because that's what it's there for. You need to tune into an issue in all of its different facets to be able to work through that issue through tapping. Makes sense to everybody? Makes sense to everybody, even though it's really difficult. So anyway, let's pull a card. So Fran says yes, even though it's deeply uncomfortable. All right. Where is the weekend forecast scroller? Weekend forecast. Come back. There we go. So yeah, if you want to go deeper about this, and if you want more tapping sessions, or you want to do a specific tapping session or tarot and tapping, this is where you can book a reading with me and a tapping session with me. tarotbyhilary.com, Hilary with 1 L. And you can also go to the website to find out more about EFT tapping, what it is, how it works, etc. And also on the Tube of You, I have 2 playlists. One is a playlist of requested tapping videos. That's from me, yours truly. And then the other playlist is just EFT tapping, and that's like a curated tapping playlist of all different issues from all different tapping practitioners like Gala Darling, Brad Yates, Tap Into Magic, Danny Lent, Angel Rogers, Jennifer Schifferman, I believe, Jean Montecelo or Montecero, all different tapping practitioners. And it's just like, I might not be the tapping practitioner for you, but I can almost guarantee you will find someone that you vibe with. And that's really important. That's important for tarot reading, and that's important for tapping too. So, all right, let's do the weekend forecast from the Super Attractor Affirmations deck. And I've pulled out the one that that I got before because this past week, because I don't want to pull that one again. I want something new. But that message will come through. Whether we want it to or not, whether it's a sweet little oracle deck, whether it's a gentle oracle deck, that message will come through nonetheless. Get ready for it. All right. Okay. So we are getting that the universe has big plans for me, and it's time to claim them. The universe has big plans for me, and it's time to claim them. So normally I will not do an interpretation of an affirmations card or a wordy oracle card, but I'm feeling something. I'm feeling some kind of way about this, and I'm getting more than just the universe has big plans for me, and it's time to claim them. This is more a card, and this is definitely a card coming for me. Maybe it's coming for you too. This is not a card about playing small. We can no longer afford to play small with our lives. Life is just too precious to keep on playing small, to keep on making compromises. Okay? And that doesn't mean that you have to be a bitch. That doesn't mean you have to be confrontational. That doesn't mean that you have to be aggressive. But you do have to be assertive about it. You do have to start to claim the big plans that the universe has for you, even if you're not sure what those plans are. But if you do feel like you are destined for something more, then this is the freaking time to claim that and to start to make bold steps toward it. Bold does not necessarily mean big, but it does mean steps. You do have to actually do them. So Fran says, fits perfect to this week and today. And Katie says, sounds like a coming for us card. I think so. I really do. Maybe that's because I put it into the, I put the energy of come for us. Come for us. Come at me, bro, to the affirmation deck. That's possible. But yeah, the universe has big plans for me, and it's time to claim them. Now is not the time to play it small, folks. Life's too precious. All right. I was not able to condense everything into an hour. We're a little over an hour, about an hour and 15 minutes, but I think that's a good place to wrap up. Fran says, I hear you loud and clear. Yeah, I hear myself loud and clear too. So once again, everyone, Fridays, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or 6:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come back here, same bat time, same bat channel for more cards coming for us, for more of a tarot reader being called out by their own damn cards. Doesn't matter what kind of cards, tarot, oracle cards, whatever. And yeah, if you enjoy this kind of banter, you may enjoy a reading with me or a tapping session with me. So tarotbyhilary.com. Katie says, have a wonderful weekend, everyone. You as well, Katie. So once again, I am Hilary, professional tarot reader and tapping practitioner, demystifying the mystical and putting you in touch with the most beautiful of gifts, your intuition. Because yes, my friends, do not argue with me. You have intuition. Make sure that you're listening to it before the whispers become screams or before your intuition just says, bitch, I'm not telling you anything anymore because you don't listen to me anyway. Let's not get it to that point. Listen to your intuition, folks. It's there to help you. Have a wonderful weekend. I will see you again next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Bye.